We have just 10 games left of our first Premier League season in charge of Reading, and this is the season preview, and we're expected to finish 19th place in the table. However, with just 10 games left to play, I don't think we can get relegated anymore. And that is because we sit 12th place in the table, 38 points on the board. Obviously, 10 games left to play means there are a total of 30 points still to grab. But if Bournemouth get 30 points, I will eat my hat. I don't own a hat. I'll buy a hat and I'll eat my hat. In today's episode, we're going to play 3 more matches. And I'm hoping we can win probably one of them. Let's be honest, I'm hoping we win one. In between episodes, we have played one league game and it was a 2-1 win against Norwich, and we've been knocked out of the FA Cup in the 5th round after a 115th minute winner from Keane Lewis Potter for Everton. We're going to be playing Chelsea, we're going to be playing Nottingham Forest, who are somehow in 7th place, and we are not playing Arsenal, we're playing Wolves instead, because probably going to lose the Arsenal game. Let's face it, we'll probably lose the Chelsea, Forest and Wolves ones as well. The starting lineup then for the home game against Chelsea will be Boyce Clark in goal, Norton, Cuffy, Sardi, Meppelman, Larios in defence with Kozlovs and Hamilton's just in front of them. Wilson and Adozi on the wings, Maleka and Mansouri leading the lines. On the subs bench, we do have a returning from injury Liam Delap. He has missed too much football. He keeps getting injured. I mean, he's kind of had a nice big spell of football in the middle, but he's only played so far this season 22 games out of 28. Actually, he's missed 6. I feel like he's missed a lot more. He's just missed all of them on camera, hasn't he? One thing that I did not mention as well, I don't think I did anyway in the last episode, is we have lost Will Smallbone. His loan from Southampton was cancelled because basically we just did not play him. Let's play Chelsea. Let's see how we get on. They're obviously a very good team, but not performing very well. Kind of like real life. Well, 15 minutes into the game and we've had no highlights. 17 minutes and we've got our first one. It is Mepham from Boyce Clark. Goes down to Juan Larios on that left-hand side. Across to Hamilton. Larios collects it again. On the line is Sam Adozi. Ball forward to Mansouri. Can he do something special? He's got no real support. He's gone for goal. I think that was a shot. Might have been a cross. Straight into the hands of Kepa. Highlight is going to carry on, though. Kepa's going for a wander. I've just seen that we are playing in blue and white against a team who are playing in blue. This is a bit of a kit clash, guys. Just putting it out there. Mudryk collects it, a player who was an absolute nightmare against me. I think for the Villa save, he scored probably all of his goals against me. Lavia has scored his second goal for Chelsea, and it's 1-0 to Chelsea. I mean, it's fine. You kind of have to expect to lose to Chelsea, but at home, maybe we can get a draw. I know it's massively optimistic with just 10 games left to play, but we could still technically qualify for Europe, and it's not too far-fetched. We are, I think it's like 7 points away from a European spot. Losing this match here might be kind of one of the final nails in the coffin. We've got the ball through a dozy. Obviously, the shot, I think, from Sterling hit the post. The way this match is going so far and the highlights are going, this is a Chelsea win, isn't it? It's going to be a Chelsea win. Kozlov's heads clear. Lukaku collects it, though. Where are you going to go? In the middle to Sterling. Sterling must be getting on a bit, surely. Lavia's effort goes wide of Boyce Clark's post. Still 1-0 to Chelsea. We've offered very, very little so far. I'm going to try and claim the We Are Tired card because we did play our cup match against Everton like 3 days ago and it went to extra time. So that might be why we are struggling fitness-wise. We're looking not great compared to when you look at Chelsea's, particularly in their defence. They're looking actually quite healthy, aren't they? We're not. Half-time, 1-0 to Chelsea. Very little going on. We have had some shots. We're this other blue line, by the way. The 2 different blue lines is kind of stupid, isn't it? Straight into the second half, I am really, really considering bringing on Liam Delap in the second half, although we're now 2-0 down, so maybe I won't bother. There's no point in risking getting him injured if we're just going to lose the game 2-1. Not going to lie, that was absolutely appalling defending, wasn't it? Mendy unmarked to the back post, heads it across absolutely everybody. Boyce Clark is nowhere to be found. Nobody challenges Fofana, and it's 2-0. Fofana as well literally came on at half-time. So we'd been on the pitch for a minute and like 30 seconds. Maleka collects it back to Hamilton, finds Maleka once again in on goal, and Zaxton Maleka gets his 17th goal of the season. He, by the way, has been superb for us. I was not expecting him to be as good as he has been, but he has replaced the lack of Liam Delap goals. Maleka's just turned up and gone, don't worry guys, I will score them. And so far he is doing just that. We are going to do a change. Do we do Delap? We can't do Delap. We're going to do Perot coming on. Swap you 2 round. Put Perot as the pressing forward. Maleka can move to the more advanced one. Wilson's coming off as well for Scott Banks. Wilson on a 6-5. I think he was blamed for the Fofana goal. I think that's why he's on a 6-5. Well, the fact that we've scored a goal in the second half is kind of optimistic and promising, but the fact that we've done nothing since kind of makes it seem like it might have been against the run of play. Fofana's effort is blocked. Sterling collects the ball, though, keeps it alive for Chelsea. Back to Reece James. And the highlight randomly ends. There wasn't really a highlight there, guys. Kozlov's on a 6.4. What are you doing or not doing? I think you're coming off, buddy. We're going to do Vermeeren coming on, which is fine. That's kind of why I brought you, to be that sort of defensive midfielder, the ball winner. That's what it is. Larios coming off as well, or Norton Cuffy. We're going to do Norton Cuffy. Ronnie Edwards as a right back. That way's probably a bit more sensible, isn't it? In case you didn't realise, I put Sardi over to the right back because he can kind of play there. Mendy with a throw for Chelsea. Sardi needs to do something from right back. Hopefully get this ball clear. Mudryk back to Ferland Mendy. On the ground, find Mudryk once again. Edge of the penalty area. Tries to get some space for himself and does so. Boyce Clark with a spectacular save from that Mudryk effort. It is going to be a corner. Reece James has gone over to take it. I assume that's Reece James. Corner comes in. Fofana's there. This is not Datro. That is the other Fofana. And it is Boyce Clark easily holding on to that one. Wesley is what his name is. It's Wesley Fofana. Scott Banks has just taken an absolute clattering. Adozi's looking shattered as well. Larios is struggling. Do we do something risky? Oh, that's an injury as well. A groin injury for Banks. I know, luckily for us, he's our backup. We've got one sub left. Do we do it? It's a stupid idea. It's a stupid idea, but we've done it. For 5 minutes, we're bringing Liam Delap on. If he gets injured, I'm going to hate myself. If he scores the equaliser, it's the best decision we've ever done. And if nothing happens, which is looking likely, it's fine. As long as he doesn't get injured, it's fine. It's a defeat. It's a 2-1 defeat. We were not very good. Chelsea arguably should have won by way more than 2 goals. We got lucky. We were not very good, but we got lucky. Scott Banks is out for 5 to 6 days, so not even a bad injury either, was it? And that result means that we are now sat 13th place in the table. Still 38 points on the board. If we do some maths, we can still obviously get relegated because Bournemouth can, as we mentioned earlier, get 30 points and put them onto 52. But realistically, there is... How many points is that? That is 16 points between us and 18th place in the table. I don't think they're going to get 16 points in their last 10 games. Right then, match number 2, Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. And we do have Liam Delap returning to the starting 11. It's going to be Boyce Clark in goal. Norton Cuffy, Mepham, Mbete and Larios. Mbete making his first start for Reading. He's come off the bench 4 times. I'm going to give him a chance because basically, when I ask the assistant to pick the team, which is what I normally do, and then I do some tweaks, they always put Kozlovs as a central defender, which is fine because he can play there, but that's not his best position. His best position is actually central midfield, but they, for some reason, stick him in centre-back. So Mbete is going to be playing there today. Vermeeren and Hamilton in midfield. Wilson, Adozi on the wings. Delap and Maleka up front. Do we do them that way round? That's the way round I want to play them. I want Delap as the advanced forward, and I want Maleka as the pressing forward. So that's what we're going to go with. Is it a risk playing Mbete? Probably. Is it a risk playing Liam Delap? Probably. We are going to see how bad a risk this is. Our form has been pretty horrendous. The only kind of good thing that's happened in the last 5 matches is beating 19th place Norwich, which was off camera. We need to turn this form around, to be fair. I know we're not good enough. Realistically, on paper, we are not good enough to be a Premier League side. We are just overperforming. But the fact that we are losing we're not winning many in the last few matches is a bit concerning. Last episode, we beat Saints 5-0. We've got a free kick in a good position. It is Harry Wilson stepping over the ball. Cross comes in on the ground to Mbete. It is blocked. I think it hit the goalkeeper. And Adozi's collected it on the left-hand side. Aspria sticks a leg out, challenges and wins the ball. We almost got a goal from Luke Mbete. I also have no idea if that's how his name is said, but that is how we're going to go with it. Vermeeren on the right-hand side plays it towards Wilson. 2 in the box, a couple more join in. He's just stood there and lost the ball though. Danilo for Forest down the line. It's going to get collected by Mepham, who's been a very good player for us over the, 4 seasons now I think we've had him? Norton Cuffy on the right-hand side keeps going down the line. Cross comes in. It is Liam Delap. Turner just sees that one go over the bar. The fact that Forest are somehow in 7th place and Chelsea are like 12th shows to me that this league and this season is all over the place because Forest are nowhere near as good as Chelsea are on paper and they are outperforming them by a fair distance in the league. Maleka heads back towards Mepham but doesn't actually get anywhere near him, and now Chucho's in on goal and Chucho Hernandez makes it 1-0 to Forest, or does he? We are going to get some VAR. VAR is saying what? I think this is going to count. I think it's going to count. It has counted. It's not told me that there was a goal, but it is counted. It is 1-0 to Forest. And it's not really against the run of play, but Forest have not really had a huge amount of highlights. They've just had lots of shots. Right, half-time team talk. You've been terrible so far. It fired up everybody. That's good in a way. We are going to have to bring off Liam Delap at about 75 minutes because he's still not fully fit from his injury. We're going to have to bring off Harry Wilson in a minute because he's just been absolutely flattened. And his last couple of matches have been appalling. Absolutely appalling. We're going to do Taylor Hart coming on the right-hand side. We're going to do Maleka coming off for Perot. We're going to do Delap coming off for Chukwuemeka. Yep, it's not really what he's good at, is it? But he can play there as a shadow striker. So we're going to try him up front as a pressing forward. I don't know what we're doing. We're 56 minutes in. We need to not do all of our subs now. I do see the big problem in this match is our strikers are not doing very well. So having Perot and Chukwuemeka now up front, I just hope Chukwuemeka can do something. I'm retraining him to be a deep-lying playmaker, which is obviously very different than the position I'm currently just put him into. And it should be 2-0 to Forest. It's going to be a corner instead. But we're not going to see. Fair enough. We are not playing well. Forest are playing actually very well when you look at their match ratings. Loads of people in the greens and everyone else is not far from being a green, really. That match momentum graph is horrifying. We've had no momentum at all. Nothing. Like a little bit there, which I assume was probably our highlight early on in the first half. But that is it. Fitness-wise, we are struggling. Scott Banks is going to come on that left-hand side. Hamilton's going to come off as well for Kozlov's. That's all of our changes. We've only got 5 minutes left to play. I'm going to give him a shout. I'm going to give him a demand more because we're doing nothing. We're doing absolutely nothing. Getting no highlights whatsoever either. And it's going to be another defeat. Another defeat. I did say that I don't think we're getting relegated. If this form continues, we might be getting relegated. What is this? Like, we did nothing. Nothing at all in the second half, apart from one shot right at the start of it by the looks of that. I'm going to say I'm far from pleased. And most people kind of agreed. Mbete appeared to lack self-belief. You got a 6.4, mate. You played quite well, I think, in the first half, and then did nothing in the second. So, looking at our fixtures, the most recent fixtures have not been good. We've got 2 league wins. A win against Liverpool and a win against Norwich. That is it. We had a very, very good spell, but kind of towards the end of last year and the start of this year. And then we've just kind of gone back to this mess here that we had at the start of the season. We're back in that awful, awful state where arguably we're not playing awful. We're just either not scoring goals or not taking the shots. Scoring 1 goal in a match is not enough at the moment, particularly defensively when we concede 2 or 3. Anyway, we're now going to jump forward all the way to the 1st of April, where we're going to be playing Wolves, which means we're going to have Arsenal off camera, which sod's law, that's going to be a win, isn't it? And we're also going to have our youth intake, which I have not checked in a while, but it's below average. It's below average. Don't expect anything then. Right, we are back on the 1st of April, and we've been beaten by Arsenal, 2-0. Another defeat. So that is now, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defeats in the league out of 8 games. We've lost 6 of our last 8. I mean, 2 as well. Obviously, both matches in March without a goal being scored. We need to turn things around soon. We are still 13th place in the table, though. So, we are still looking likely that we are hopefully too far away from this relegation scrap. I'd say Leeds might be dragged into it, but I think we are too far away. We are going to play Wolves, but first, we're going to take a look at our youth intake. It's a poor one. It's a poor youth intake. We've apparently got one top talent, which is Gabriel Corbett, who is an American centre-back. He's a centre-back. I don't see him as a defensive midfielder. He's got nice high work rate and teamwork. Technically, not awful. I'm not expecting the world from this guy. We've also got a player who has a brilliant name, Ilhan Genius, who is a German central midfielder. He's not very good, is he? He's not going to be very good, but his name is Ilhan Genius. And he's part English. Amazing. I think we're going to mix it up with a match against Wolves. So a slight change in formation. It is the 4-2-3-1 Gegenpress. We've been training this, so the team know it exists. We just never play it. And it is going to be Boyce Clark in goal, Norton, Cuffy, Mepham, Sadi and Guinness Walker in defence. Guinness Walker comes in because Larios has broken his back, which is amazing. Vermeeren and Hamilton in midfield. Wilson, Chukwuemeka and Adozi as our attacking midfielders. Liam Delap leading the line I feel sorry for Maleka because he's got 17 goals for us this season, but Delap is just a better player. This worries me. Al Ittihad want Liam Delap. It's going to cost you £75 million. I don't think they're going to pay it, but if they do, I think that's probably too good to turn down. My team talk to the team there was, let's put this poor form behind us and win a game. Nobody cared apart from Liam Delap. So, maybe Liam Delap is the one to actually do this, score a couple of goals, win us the game. As you saw as well, Wolves' form has not been amazing either. 3 defeats and 2 draws in their last 5. We have got 4 defeats and a win in our last 5. Wan-Bissaka with a throw for Wolves after just 15 minutes. Gets the ball back on the ground to Diallo. Now Doyle. Rafael Luis tries to get some space for himself and does so. It clips the top of the net, goes over Boyce Clark's bar. One chance goes Wolves' way, but not very good. Second one also might be going their way as well. Neto's corner comes in. Once again, Rafael Luis at this time goes over the bar again. Half an hour now played for us, and we've done nothing. We've had 0 shots. We've had a fair amount of possession, but clearly it is doing absolutely nothing for us. This change in formation might not have been a good idea. We might need to go back to the 4-2-4. Corner for Wolves comes in. Norton Cuffy heads vertically upwards. Neto with some space. Guinness Walker with a slide. Doesn't get it far enough away, and it has hit the underside of the bar. Now Delap can find a Dozy. Is a counter-attack on? All of our players decided to stop running. Every single one of them got halfway across the halfway line and went, you know what? I'm done. I ain't running any more than that. Boyce Clark with a free kick. Sardi, left-hand side is going to be Guinness Walker. Adozi's there as well. It was a terrible pass, terrible control. Absolutely everything about that was terrible. It's all the way back then with Pickford in the Wolves goal. Rafael Luis, who seems to be pulling the strings for Wolves at the moment. Ike Nori on that left-hand side. Ball forward to Neto. Now Cunha in the middle. Doyle on the right. Amad Diallo with acres of space cuts inside. Wolves are looking good, or are we looking bad? I'm not quite sure. Boyce Clark makes a save. Was well off his line. Probably should have just been on his line and didn't need to concede a corner. It's Doyle. Is that Tommy or Callum? Not quite sure. It's one of them. Cross comes in. Brojazer heads over the bar. And at half-time, it's 0-0, and we've been just garbage. Just absolutely garbage. Thrash Arms, I'm far from pleased. I don't know why my assistant manager, Michaela Ligertwood, is basically there saying, don't worry, guys, you're doing all right. We've had 1 shot with a 0.02 XG. Do you know what that is? That's a corner, isn't it? That's a corner. That's not a shot. That's a corner. Straight into the second half, we've done no changes. It looks like Selic has come on for Wolves for Ike Nori, which I don't know whether that means a change in formation. Here is Selic, ball in the middle, intercepted by Adozi. Where are you going to go? Vermeeren, ball forward to Chukwuemeka, not seen anything of him. On Wilson, now goes for goal. Terrible effort from the former Bournemouth man. Hits it wide of the post. I say former Bournemouth man because that's the team that I know him playing for, but obviously he's played for a few others as well, like Liverpool. We have been absolutely garbage, haven't we? We are just before the 60-minute mark. We're going to do a change, which is going to be changing up to the 4-2-4 formation. We're going to bring on Maleka as the pressing forward for Chukwuemeka. Even though he's playing all right, I think the problem is we don't have the 2 strikers up front is what we kind of need. Scott Banks is going to come on for Harry Wilson, which, by the way, his average rating is absolutely garbage. He's only doing all right because he scored against Norwich. And everything else, he's just been rubbish. So Harry Wilson is coming off. Do we do anything else? Adozi's playing bad as well. Do we do Kiddo? I think we do Kiddo. And I think that is it for the moment. We've got Joel Perot sat on the subs bench who might be coming on for Liam Delap, who can obviously play 90 minutes now. Guinness Walker with a throw. Has the change in formation changed our fortunes? It's all the way back to Sadi. Now Hamilton in the middle. Finds Norton Cuffy on that right-hand side. Long-range effort from the right-back. It's gone wide. It's concerning when that's your best chance. When a right-back goes for a 25-yard screamer and just gets it nowhere near the goal whatsoever. Kilman's effort is blocked by Sadi. Cleared upfield. Liam Delap collects it. Are we going to see something? Delap gets past his man on the ground, finds Kiddo Taylor Hart in the middle, plays it back to Liam Delap. Liam Delap scores a goal, his 10th of the season. We take the lead against Wolves completely against the run of play for literally the entire match. That's also his 50th goal for Reading as well, which is pretty impressive considering we bought him last season. He scored 50 goals in just under 2 years. Right, now the question is, are we good enough to hang on, or are we just going to immediately concede and throw this on away? Maleka to Scott Banks on the right-hand side. Maleka's carried on his run. Is he going to get the ball? He should get the ball. Should have got the ball ages ago. Instead, we've just lumped it upfield to Kiddo Taylor Hart, and Taylor Hart has made it 2. What has happened? We've changed formation, and then all of a sudden, we've gone, guys, we remember how to play this one. let's just score some goals, do what we normally do, and all of a sudden, in the space of 10 minutes after we change formation, we've scored twice. Is it going to be 3? Guinness Walker with a throw in a good position. Hopefully he can get it into the penalty area. He doesn't go, goes for Hamilton instead. Gets it back on the ground to Kiddo. Some space for Kiddo. And super sub, Kiddo Taylor Hart makes it 3-0. What has happened? What has gone? Did we just need to play the wrong formation for half a match and then go, right, play the one you know, score the goals, have some fun, win a match? Have we got any subs left to do? I feel like we've got like 1 or 2. So we will have a look to see what we can do in the last couple of minutes of the game. Looking at fitness now. So Hamilton is going to come off for Kozlov's. Ronnie Edwards is going to come on as well for Saadi. No, we'll do that. And then we'll do Saadi playing as that right back. Because apparently he's a 3-star wing back in right back. I don't think he's good enough to play there, but there we are. I mean, he's actually a very good centre back. I don't think he's good enough to be a right back is what I'm trying to say. Kozlov's collects this on the ground to Taylor Hart, who's now on a hat-trick. Maleka's not going to quite get there. Kilman plays it all the way back to Pickford. We've got 5 minutes plus injury time left to play. And this last, 20 minutes worth of performance has just been game-changing. Quite literally game-changing. Rafael Luis goes for a run forward. Guedes to Cunha on the ground. Invites Broja forward. His effort is saved by Boyce Clark. We are going to see the corner. Diallo takes it quickly by the looks of it. And it is a very good save once again by Boyce Clark. 5 minutes of injury time to play. And match stats-wise, you'd think we would have lost this game. However, performance-wise, Kiddo Taylor Hart off the subs bench turns into just prime, Maradona. What did he do? He just turned into an absolute legend of a footballer in this match. Vermeeren plays it on the ground to Sardi. Playing as a right-back, loses out to Pratty. Not ideal. We've got seconds left to play. Even if Wolves do score, Ronnie Edwards is there, nicks the ball away from Broja. I was going to say, even if Wolves do score, it's surely just going to be a consolation. Taylor Hart surging forward, looking for goal number 4. Just kicks it straight into Pratty, who's just been in the way constantly since he's come on. Cunha's cross comes in. Broja is there. It is 3-1. It's not necessarily going to count, though. We're going to get VAR. The goal has been disallowed, so it might still be 3-0. A clean sheet for Boyce Clark, who, to be fair, has earned it. From some of the saves that we've seen, has definitely earned that. That second half performance was madness. Absolute madness. And that performance moves us on to the magical 41 points. We have broken the 40-point barrier. And interestingly, if we win one more match, we could potentially be 10th. I think Europe is now off the cards. However, we will take a look, because there are 7 places available for European competitions. And for some reason, Spurs have already qualified for something. I don't know how or why, but Spurs have already qualified for something already. Maybe 7th place might get Europe. Maybe even 8th place might get Europe. It's optimistic. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. If we get this Reading team into Europe, it's broken, isn't it? Football Manager's broken if we've managed to do that. That's going to do it for this episode. We are going to play one more episode of this Reading save, which will be probably the final 3 games of the season, minus Southampton, because we've already played them once on camera. Kiddo Taylor Hart, the saviour of the Wolves game. He's only started once in the league this season. 19 off the bench, 3 goals and an assist. Maybe in the next couple of games, Kiddo gets his starts, and maybe we can finish in the top half of the table. I think that's got to be the goal.